Hello students, welcome to this session on quantitative research process. Quantitative research is an academic activity which is very well planned and organized procedure to find out the answers to the questions. Finding answers is the end of all research. It is a focused, not a spontaneous activity, and a particular steps need to be followed. Welcome to this session. Learning objectives. By the end of the lecture, the students will be able to get a basic understanding of the concept of research, identify the characteristics of good research, familiarize with the steps of the quantitative research process, and appreciate the qualities of a researcher. Research is a systematic search for knowledge through the method of study, observation, comparison, and experiment. It is a careful inquiry or an investigation of the knowledge. Research process is a series of various actions which are necessary to effective research work. So what is research? Research. The word was derived from the old French word rechercher, means to seek or search, to look for something and to examine closely. The prefix re means once again, and it signifies the replication of the search. One seeks new knowledge and systematic search for the answers to the questions. Politan Beck. Nursing research is a systematic inquiry designed to develop knowledge about issues of importance to the nursing profession, including nursing practice, nursing education, nursing administration, and informatics. Burns and Groove. Nursing research is defined as a scientific process that validates and refines the existing knowledge on a particular subject and generates new knowledge that directly and indirectly influences clinical nursing practice. Breland. Nursing research is concerned with the systematic study and assessment of nursing problems, finding ways to improve the nursing practice and patient care through creative studies, initiating and evaluating the change, and taking action to make new knowledge useful in nursing. So this was all definition about the research and nursing research. Elements. So what are the elements of research? If we look at these definitions, it is a systematic process. One, two, there's a search for new knowledge. Three, the research is a planned and a logical activity which is carried out to answer a focused question. So these were the elements of research. Characteristics of a good research. Systematic, so it has to be orderly and sequential activity. Purposiveness, clearly defined purpose. Objectivity and impartiality, it needs to reflect the truth and should be free from any biases. Measurability, the variables should be measurable. The results should be generalizable and it follows the rules of logical reasoning. Accuracy and precision, the findings should be accurate and precise. The data collected must be verifiable and testable. It should be based on observations and experimentation of the theories. Variables are kept constant to find out the true relationship. Collected data is appropriately analyzed and it generates new questions, suggests directions for the future research or future studies. Original work, it is not cut or copied information. Research outcome is reproducible or replicable. Relevant, it should be appropriate and must benefit the communities. It needs personal experience and the skills. It centers around the existing problems and to resolve the current issues, and it is based on real problems. Recording and reporting. So every term should be defined clearly and must be in details. So these were the characteristics of a good research. Qualities of a good researcher. So a researcher should imbibe all these qualities, should be research oriented, efficient, have a scientific bent of mind, should be effective, should be active, resourceful, creative, honest, economical, and have a religious bent of mind. So these are the qualities of a good researcher. Also should have good time management skills, analytical skills, critical thinking skills. Intellectual curiosity should have a deep thinking inquiry of the things, problems, and situations around him. Prudence. Prudence means very careful to conduct the study at the right time, at the right place, wisely, efficiently, and economically. Intellectual honesty should be honest to correct the data or facts in order to arrive at the honest results. Intellectual creativity. They should be resourceful, innovative to create unique and original researches. So these were the characteristics of the researcher. Process. So what is the process of research in carrying out quantitative research? Identifying the research problem, one. Two, reviewing the literature, available and relevant literature, related literature. Specifying the research objectives, collecting the data, analyzing and interpreting the data collected, reporting the findings, and evaluating the search. So researchers should be highly motivated, enthusiastic, and should have good writing skills. So these are the steps: formulation of research problem, determining the study objectives, reviewing the relevant literature, conceptual framework or theoretical framework, and formulating the hypothesis, selecting the research design depending on the type of problem, sampling and getting ethical clearance, conducting pilot study and then collecting data, data analysis and data interpretation, and finally disseminating or communicating the research findings. Quantitative research process. So what is quantitative research process? Quantitative research is a formal, objective, rigorous, and a systematic process for generating information by collecting numerical data in order to explain, predict, or control the phenomena. And this involves identifying and measuring the variables and examining their relationships. It aims to generalize the findings to a larger population with the use of statistical methods. So the purpose is to describe the variables, test the relationship between the variables. Phases. The phases of quantitative research process. Phase 1, which is known as conceptual phase. It is an intellectual process wherein the researcher should exhibit his creative skills to convert the idea into an appropriate research design. The researcher should have an adequate insight and a firm grounding on the research topic, should have logical reasoning. Step 1. Formulating the research problem. It is the most important step, which is a complex and time consuming, and the researcher needs to be passionate and a researchable. The problem should be researchable, and also it should be interesting problem. So discover an interesting and research worthy problem, because a problem well defined is half solved. A broad area of the topic is selected and then narrowed down to a specific research problem. The problem selected should be feasible and it should be significant to the nursing profession. It should indicate the sample to be studied and the variables being studied. It should take into account the features of originality. The problem selected should be an original one. Solvability should be able to solve the problem, and it should be feasible from the point of view of the resources. And it can be selected, the sources of problem can be either own experiences, or it could be done from the literature review and also from the theories, and it should be feasible and possible depending on the time at hand, manpower, and also the resources, especially the finance. Determining study objectives. So they should be justified to the problem statement. The objectives give clear directions to the research, and they also provide guidelines as to what must be done during the study. They should be precise and specific. They can be general objectives and specific objectives. Clear objectives are very important because they determine which data to be collected during the study. And the justified purposes also help in getting the approval for this study from the competent authorities. So they should be manageable and relevant. If you do not know what you are looking for, you won't find it. So this is related to the objectives. Questions to be answered: what information should the project provide? Which is the most important information? And what are the priorities? So this was establishing research objectives. Step 3, review of literature. A literature review is a summary of previous knowledge which has been generated on the topic of the study. It is a critical analysis of the relevant and the related literature on the topic of the study. This helps the researcher to understand what is already known about the topic and what needs to be investigated further. Review of literature guides for the plan of study methods, for the selection of the tools, data collection methods, and the data analysis. Literature can be taken or can be sourced from the books, journals, research reports, published thesis, unpublished thesis, newspapers, magazines, abstracts, indexes, and computer-assisted searches. So one needs to take an extensive survey and collect the recent, the most important, and up-to-date information on the topic, preferably within the last 5 years. An effective literature review needs basic skills in the researchers, for example, critical thinking skills, brainstorming, reading, comprehending, analysis, synthesizing, and summarizing. So all these skills are needed for the appropriate review of literature. Developing conceptual framework. The basic aim of the research is to develop, refine, or test the theories. A conceptual framework is developed based on the either nursing theories or non-nursing theories. They provide meaning to the research problem and also explain the relationships between the concepts of the study and also based on a theory. It helps in developing hypotheses, selecting the variables and assumptions for the research study. So this was conceptual framework or theoretical framework. Number 5, step 5, formulating hypothesis. So hypothesis predicts the relationship between two or more variables in a study. Hypothesis, so what is a hypothesis? It is an assumed statement suggesting an answer to the problem statement. It may or may not be true, so it is either accepted or it is rejected. It translates the problem statement into a clearly understandable prediction of the outcome of study. The type of hypothesis can be simple hypothesis, complex hypothesis, directional hypothesis, non-directional hypothesis, null hypothesis, research hypothesis, associative hypothesis, and causal hypothesis. And hypothesis provides directions for the research methodology, selecting sampling method, identifying the data collection method, and conducting the data analysis. Defining the study variables. So what is a variable? Variable is any characteristics, event, concepts, or qualities of persons, things, or situations that vary, and they are measured, they are manipulated or controlled in the research settings. The variable is the one which varies. Age, sex, income, country of birth, class, grades, eye color, and type of vehicle. They are all examples of the variables. They are of three types: independent variables, which is the cause, dependent variable, which is the effect, and then extraneous variables. These all variables need to be operationally defined in the study to enable accurate measurement. This was variables. Step 6. Identifying the assumptions and acknowledging the limitations. So what are assumptions? Assumptions are beliefs which are held to be true but not been proven. So they should be stated clearly. Each research study is based on some assumptions which influence the questions asked and the data collected. So they are classified into broad categories like universal assumptions, assumptions based on the theories, assumptions which are needed to conduct a research, warranted assumptions, and unwarranted assumptions. Phase 1. So just to summarize the phase 1, which was conceptual phase, formulating and delimiting the problem, reviewing the related literature, undertaking fieldwork in case of experimental studies, developing conceptual framework or theoretical framework, identifying the assumptions and acknowledging the limitations, formulating the hypothesis. So this was phase 1, conceptual phase. Now coming to phase 2, design and planning phase. So in this phase, the researcher selects the research design for the study, develops the study procedures, determines the sample for the study, and prepares the data collection plan. So phase 2, that is design phase and the planning phase. Step number 7, selecting the research design. Research design is a blueprint or an outline or the backbone of the research. It is the heart of research, research design or methodology. It details about the methods which will be used, and it guides the researcher to conduct the study in a systematic manner. The statement of the problem and the objectives, they determine the selection of the research design. They can be quantitative research design, qualitative research design, or they can be both, a combination of both, mixed method research. Quantitative research designs, so they can be classified into experimental designs and non-experimental designs. So experimental designs, they are used to control and predict the phenomena. There's random assignment of the subjects, that is, there's an availability of a control group and manipulation of the independent variable. And they can further be classified into true experimental designs and quasi-experimental designs. Non-experimental designs, they are used to describe, descriptive studies, explore, exploratory studies, explain and identify, differentiate and examine associations between two or more variables. Correlational studies. So this research variables are studied without manipulating them in the natural setting. Step 8, specifying the population. So the study is conducted on smaller samples, quantitative research, and then research results are generalized to a larger population. And population is the entire group of people about whom the researcher wishes to generalize the study findings. The research should specify the target population, which is a broad population to which the study results are generalized, and also the accessible population, actual population on which the research study is being conducted. The characteristics of the accessible population should be similar to the target population. Develop sampling plan and selecting the sample. So a subset of subjects which is representative of the given population is termed as sample. And the selected sample characteristics must be similar to the population characteristics. A sampling plan is developed which includes inclusion criteria, exclusion criteria, sample selection method, and the size of the sample. Selection of the sampling method depends on the nature of the study and also availability of the all kinds of resources. Developing tools for data collection. So it is essential to devise the methods and tools to measure the research variables. So data collection plan will depend on the type of research design, the variables to be studied, the subjects, the researcher's expertise, the available resources, and the time for the study. So they must be used after establishing their validity and reliability. So data, how will the data be collected? Who will collect the data? When will the data be collected? Where will the data be collected? And what type of data will be collected? Establishing ethical clearance. Step 11. All ethical issues needs to be addressed. Subjects' rights must be considered. Informed consent to be taken from the participants. Avoiding errors in the data collection. Ensuring voluntary participation of the subjects. Obtaining permission from the competent authorities to conduct the study. Maintaining confidentiality and anonymity. Also getting approval from the Institutional Ethical Committee. Conducting a pilot study. Pilot study is a trial. It's a small scale study which is carried out before the final research. It is conducted to test, to refine, or to modify the research methodology. The researcher evaluates the feasibility, the acceptability of data collection procedures. In case of any shortcomings, the methodology or the tools can be modified. So phase 2, design and the planning phase. Selecting a research design, developing intervention protocols in case of experimental studies, identifying the population, designing the sampling plan, specifies, specifying the methods to measure, developing methods to safeguard the subjects, that is ethical issues, ethical considerations, and then finalizing the research plan. So this was phase 2, design and the planning phase. Phase 3, that is empirical phase. In this phase 3, the researcher collects the data and prepares for the analysis. Step 13, data collection. So it needs adequate planning, patience, interpersonal relationships, communication skills, and also the recording skills. Intervention protocols in experimental studies, like what is the intervention, what will be the timings for the intervention, what will be the frequency, the dosage, and who will do the intervention, and also training the data collectors. Organizing data for the analysis. So the collected data needs to be organized for the analysis. Questions are checked whether they are complete, missing data, or there is errors in the data entry. Tables and graphs are used to summarize the data, and also the collected data needs to be organized, coding has to be done, and also editing needs to be carried out. And data is organized into different categories: description of the demographic characteristics, pre and the post intervention comparison, and correlation between the variables, and appropriate statistical procedures to be determined for the data analysis, and descriptive and inferential statistics are used. So interpretation of the research involves describing strengths of the study and also weaknesses of the study. So phase 3, empirical phase, collecting the data and preparing the data for analysis. Coming to phase 4, analytical phase. In this phase, the researcher analyzes the collected data and interprets the findings or the results. The relationships among the data is identified. The research questions are answered to the synthesis of the numerical data. If hypothesis was stated, the findings should accept or reject them. Data interpretation. It is the process of making sense out of the results, and results are compared with the findings of the previous studies. Results are interpreted based on the research question, or the hypothesis to find out the meaning and importance of the findings. Implications are also given and recommendations are also given for the future research. So this was phase 4, analytical phase, analyzing the data, interpreting the results of the findings. Phase 5, dissemination. So this involves sharing the research results with others and utilizing the findings. Step 17, communicating the findings. Research findings can be communicated through publications in the research journals, poster presentations, paper presentations in the conferences. And they can also be presented in the national conferences, regional conferences, state conferences, and institutional conferences. So a report is made in the form of a thesis or a dissertation, and findings are communicated to the appropriate audience. So utilizing the findings, the main goal of conducting the nursing research is to promote evidence-based practice. Research findings should be used in real practice settings. They should be beneficial for the patients, for the society, community, and profession. Clinical practice guidelines can be developed. Utilization leads to improved patient outcomes. So this was utilizing the findings. So this was phase 5, dissemination phase, communicating the findings to the targeted audience and utilizing the findings in practice. Advantages of the quantitative research. It allows greater objectivity and accuracy of the results. It is a faster method, cheaper, and easily manageable by the researchers. Findings, they are replicable. Personal biases can be avoided. Systematic comparisons can be achieved. It identifies the cause and effect relationships, and they also enhance the generalization of the results. These were the advantages of quantitative research. Disadvantages: the research is conducted in a controlled setting. Data collected is superficial, it is not in depth. Confounding variables may be present. The results of the quantitative studies may be too general. Results provide only numerical descriptions. The standard questions, which are selected in the form of a questionnaire method of data collection, they can lead to biases, and the qualities of the sample may be missed out. These were the disadvantages. Remember, make sure that information is collected from many different sources. Record the bibliography of each source. Paraphrase all information into your own words. Do not plagiarize during the report. Be careful to record the facts and not the opinions. Every source should support research question, and report should present only your ideas. Assess yourself. Which of the following steps is involved in the conceptual phase? Selecting the sample, collecting the data, determine the study objectives, and utilizing the findings. To select the answer. Question 2. The end stage of the research process is to analyze the data, utilize the findings, interpret the findings, and communicate the findings. Select the best answer. Question 3. In which of the following phase pilot study is conducted? A. Conceptual phase, B. Analytical phase, C. Dissemination phase, and D. Designing phase. All you need to do is read thoroughly. A beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you. So this is all about quantitative research process. Thank you, students. Paper.